Welcome to the Sacred Emergence Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Wong, and I'm so thrilled that you're here. This is a place where you'll be guided to living your most aligned life so that your truest, most radiant self can emerge. We'll be jamming on topics ranging from spirituality, entrepreneurship, to wellness and lifestyle design, and everything in between that can support you to grow, evolve, and shine, all the while not taking ourselves too seriously. So if you're ready to step into your leadership, break through limiting beliefs, own all of who you are, and expand in abundance, grab yourself your faith cup of tea and let's dive in. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Sacred Emergence. It's Michelle Wong here. And before we dive into today's episode, first I want to welcome all of the new listeners. Welcome. And if you're a returning listener, as always, welcome back. Thank you for continuing to listen in. And I wanted to celebrate that we have hit 60th episode. So to this episode is episode 60, and Sacred Emergence is officially 1 year old. So June 21st was the official date of when I released my podcast. And then June 28th was the day where Apple Podcasts picked up Sacred Emergence. So I celebrate both of it. And I'm just like, thank you for listening and for sharing and for your ratings and your reviews. Like, I celebrate all of it. And it's so hard to believe that we are already 1 year in. I'm recording this. What's today? I think today's June 27th. So tomorrow is a 1 year of it going live on Apple Podcasts or Apple iTunes. And most of the listeners are through Apple iTunes and podcasts. So thank you. So appreciate you all. And yeah, it's so hard to believe that we're heading towards the end of June and into July. It's been a crazy year, right? Anyway, wanted to dive into today's topic around empowered presence. And there's a few nuggets that I wanted to just kind of talk about. And all of this is around personal growth. But one of the things where I just, I'm in the entrepreneurial world, and entrepreneurship is the best place to personally grow. Because when you are putting yourself out there, when you are promoting yourself, when you're making a name for yourself, so to speak, or, having your own business, it can be really confronting, especially if it's your own personal brand. And even if you are listening and you're not a business person and it's just entrepreneurship is not your thing, this is still relevant, because at the end of the day, the things that people learn through entrepreneurship, it applies to real life, right? It's just that with entrepreneurship, it's like kind of in your face, because you got to deal with the stuff in order for your income and your business to actually grow. So what I wanted to highlight with, like, what does it mean with empowered presence, right? So really it's like our presence, like our business presence, our presence of us as humans. And a part of it is taking up space and recognizing that we're here for a reason, that we matter. And it's weird that I'm like, and part of it is like, one of the pieces I wanted to talk about is on receiving. And in the entrepreneurial world, one of the biggest things around receiving is money, and our pricing, and how should we price certain things, and a lot of doubt can come up. So I wanted to talk about pricing because it's such a huge topic. And it does center around receiving. And, so with anything that's related to receiving, there has, like, in this context, there's an exchange that's happening, right? It's like we have a product or a service, a program, and we're asking for someone to pay us in order to receive the thing in order for them to receive what they're paying for. But in that exchange, we are receiving money, right? And usually as an entrepreneur, especially if it's in the personal branding world, they are buying something that we put together. So it could be like, is my work valuable? And here's where it's so important to really believe in yourself, believe in your work, right? And having the confidence to actually stand behind what it is that you're offering. And in that, you have to receive yourself. And in receiving yourself, they're going to feel the power that you put into whatever it is that you're offering and selling. So if if somebody is, okay, like I would like to buy it, how much is it? And you wanted to charge $100, for example, and you're like, I'm feeling really like weird right now. Okay, I'll offer you like $50. You're like, like I offered 50. So like, you're like, dang it, I wanted to say 100, but like, if there's that hesitancy, it's like, okay, you got to do a check, right? Because where do you feel like you're not confident in what you're offering? Because it's not so much what they're going to get, but it really is like the energy is in the transformation is in the energetic exchange of them paying you. And sometimes people will pay for a program, they don't take the program, but the fact that they made the investment, it already transformed them. Right? And so it's not even so much of what it is they're actually buying, but it's your presence. It's your stand in yourself and the ability to receive that in yourself. And when you're able to receive the money, it's a translation, right? And so this to me is part of the empowered presence, is really owning your power, owning your confidence. And let's detangle worth and money, because you're priceless, right? Like you cannot charge enough of your actual worth. Like human beings are priceless. So it's not about charging your worth, but it's having the confidence to stand behind your work and the value. And not charging our worth, like there's the advice, we have to charge our worth. And that's the message that's gotten fed into my brain when I started on my entrepreneurial journey. It's like, no, you have to charge your worth. But I'm learning just from working with my coaches who I adore, like she thinks completely differently. It's like, no, you got to detangle the worth and whatever it is you're offering, because we're just not like, we're priceless, right? And so that is a whole muscle that we have to develop, owning the pricing of what it is that we really want to charge for our service, our products. And in connection to that, it is the receiving, right? Receiving the fact that, this is like, I get to receive this. I get to receive the money, and I'm receiving my power. I'm receiving my confidence. I've done the work, and I actually really believe in what I'm putting out there. So like, this is like a whole situation where it's really a call for you as an entrepreneur, you as a person to rise, to accept the money that you want. And then the person who's a right fit, they're going to pay you, right? Because they want what you're offering. Energetic exchange and all of that. So what if you're not an entrepreneur? Like, how does that work? I mean, receiving is like, there's so many opportunities to receive, right? Like receiving a compliment. This one was really hard for me in the beginning, receiving compliments, and I would deflect it. Like initially I would deflect compliments like, oh, I love your shirt. And like, thank you. I like yours too. It's like, okay, I'm going to take it and give it back to you, right? Versus just saying thank you. And that's it. Or when somebody offers a seat on the bus, in the past, I would totally reject the seat. Like, oh, no, I got it. It's okay. I don't mind standing. And like the person who offered their seat went through the trouble of getting up. And it's like, so now whenever someone offers help, I would say, thank you. Like, I'll take it. Right. And it's in our power that we get to receive, especially if you're listening and you're a woman, our feminine energy, like the feminine within us, our birthright is to receive, right? That's what makes us feminine, and it's so magical. So the power to receive really is us tapping into our, like recognizing our value, and it is taking up space because we're able to receive, right? In order to be seen, in order to take up space and be in our body, it's like this acknowledgement of we are here and we are able to say yes to opportunities that show up for us, right? Even if it's as simple and sometimes awkward to accept as a compliment, the more you say thank you, the more you receive, the more it's a practice and it becomes easier. So that is part of, in my perspective, empowered presence, so important. And then the second piece, along the same lines of what I just talked about with receiving and it being uncomfortable to receive. So getting outside our comfort zone, right? And doing the thing that is going to take us to the next level. Sometimes I have people in my Courage Collective community take action that is like, okay, it's not even related to necessarily like their goals, but it's like, let's just break the autopilot within us, right? Let's take action that it might not be comfortable, and being uncomfortable doesn't have to be like, I'm going to jump off this cliff type of uncomfortable. It's just doing things where it brings our awareness to the forefront that we're no longer on autopilot, right? And when we do that, it's not comfortable, right? Brushing my teeth with my left hand because I'm right-handed is not comfortable, right? Using a different bathroom stall instead of the one I typically go to, it's a little bit awkward because like I'm not used to like, how I typically roll. And when we do that, we are starting to rewire our brain. We're coming to the forefront of self-awareness, and it's not comfortable. And guess what? Like everything we want is outside the comfort zone. And because it's uncomfortable, it is uncomfortable, right? It's not meant to be joyful. Like some people will see discomfort as like excitement, like fear, excitement. But it doesn't necessarily feel good, right? It's like, it's very, very uncomfortable. But that's part of the magic of growing, right? It's part of the magic of, evolution, of personal growth. And the thing is though, when we are hit with something that's not comfortable, we will procrastinate. Our brain will come up with all the excuses to stop us, to keep us safe. And it's like, oh, I don't want to do it. Like, that's not who I am. Or like, I want to do it differently. Or I'm just not ready yet. Or like our brain just starts to come up with all the excuses to hold us back, to keep us quote unquote safe. Where on the other hand, once we take action and once we move through the discomfort, then it's like, oh, it wasn't so bad, right? Our mind just tends to blow it out of proportion. And, so it's almost like we have to check in with ourselves and be like, okay, like where's the actual, like what's actually happening? Because we are going to hit resistance, but we cannot sit in the resistance forever. We do have to move through it, and it's not going to feel good, right? If you're waiting for like, oh, this feels really good, I'm going to do it. It's like, it doesn't happen, right? Like there's a balance between, there are people who are like adrenaline junkies and like it's scary, but they'll do it, and because they know how it feels, right? Because it feels exhilarating, and they probably have done something that is like adventurous enough that they love the feeling even though it's terrifying. And then there's the jumping into the ice cold pool, like taking the cold water plunge. You cannot tiptoe in. It is just like, if you tiptoe in, you're not going to go in all the way, right? Because every single step is like painful, right? You got to just dive in all the way, and you'll be like, your mind is going to be like, oh my God, what the heck did you just do? Oh my God, I'm going to die. But you don't, and you're like, okay, that was really fun and exciting. Let's not do that again. Or you want to do it again, right? So it's all about recognizing that when we are called to go outside our comfort zone, we're going to hit resistance, and resistance is normal. It's all part of the process, and recognizing that because it's part of the process, don't let it hold you back, right? Like you'll want to do certain things your way. But because when you go outside your comfort zone, it's never going to feel comfortable, right? And that's the whole point. It's like if you watch a movie and like the heroine's journey or any type of movie, you want action. There has to be tension. There has to be something. Otherwise, it's going to be boring. Everything just happens so perfectly and it was so easy. And it's like you'll fall asleep, right? But we're rooting for the heroine's journey because it's so exciting to watch, like what is going to happen. And it's very inspiring. But when we're in it, like if we are in that person's shoe, it's like, OMG, like I think I'm going to die, right? And it's true, like an old part of you is dying. It is like the part of you who did not do that previously, right? That took that action, took that leap, you have grown. So like the old part of you is not there anymore. Like, so like, it's kind of like, if you want to think of it that way, so that you are constantly growing. And then the next part of all of this is, with going back to like the empowered presence, is celebration, right? Like you have to celebrate the fact that you took action, you made the leap, all the things. Because when we celebrate, we're really anchoring the success, right? And success, I don't mean financial success here. I mean like, oh my God, like I used to be really bad at receiving and I just said yes to somebody offering me a seat on the bus and I'm celebrating that. Or like, oh my gosh, I said $99 and I didn't discount. Yes, I'm celebrating that. Like celebrating, yes, I jumped into the ice water pool. Like celebrate it. And it doesn't matter if it's like, oh my God, I'm never doing that again. That was awful. Like you're just celebrating that you took action. You're celebrating because you're anchoring it in and you're growing, you're growing. And you're not celebrating the result, you're celebrating the action, right? Or sometimes you celebrate the result because like, oh my God, I hit my goal. I hit my like, $100,000 like my $100,000 income goal or whatever. And so it's so important to celebrate, right? Because when we celebrate, we're really anchoring it in, and before we hit the next level of resistance for our next goal or the next thing that we want to achieve. Celebration is key, especially if we hit the uncomfort zone. Like if we're doing the thing and we don't celebrate, it's like we forget, right? And so super important to celebrate. And this just helps to really amplify the experience of the thing that you just did, right? And it's like it's part of your expansion. So, with all that said, I have a super, super special thing to announce. And because this episode launches today, right? It's a Monday, June 29th. I'm promoting it, this thing that I'm offering. So, this is my birthday week. My birthday is on the 4th of July. I am turning 39 years old. So it's my last 30th decade. And I'm just like, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do to celebrate this? And not only is it my 39th birthday, but I just feel like I've personally up leveled. I personally have grown. And I want to do something that really anchors this, right? To really like I'm in my next cycle of life. I'm feeling like I am so on purpose. I'm in alignment and I really want to celebrate this and continue to further my work. So I have put together a 2-day masterclass called Empowered Presence. Amplify your power, celebrate your magic. And I'm just so excited about it because of how I'm structuring it. And so today is Monday, and this is when I'm announcing the 2-day masterclass. And so today is the lowest pricing. Tomorrow the price will go up again, and then on Wednesday, July 1st, it's going to go up at the regular price. And then on July 1st, the Wednesday, I'm going to announce something, like I have a surprise that I'm going to offer. I'm going to announce a surprise. And so I'm just so excited. And if you want in, please send me a message. I'll put a link in my show notes where you can send me a message, or if you follow me on social media, you can learn more about it. But this is all in honor of our courage and amplifying our presence and our power, and really like stepping into doing the thing to help us grow and up level. I'm just like, I'm so excited. So it's a 2-day masterclass, July 3rd, July 4th, because my birthday's on the 4th. And my plan is to host it in the morning. And the timing wise, I have an idea on the timing, but I really want as many people who sign up to be able to be there live, because there's magic in being there live. But it will also be recorded. And it's going to be something fun, interactive, and we're really going to get into our bodies. And some of the things that I talked about in this podcast episode is we're going to bring it into life in the workshop or in the masterclass. But there will be more. There'll be way more. But I really wanted to highlight these components, even if you're not able to attend, or if right now is not the right time for you. At least take this nugget away and start chewing on the information I shared. And what else did I want to talk about with this? Empowered presence. Yes. So Monday, today, lowest pricing. Tomorrow goes up. And then Wednesday goes up officially at the regular pricing. And then watch for my announcement on Wednesday. And if you're feeling a nudge to say yes, I encourage you to say yes. Like, just say yes. Do it. Oh my God, it's going to be so fun. And it's also a full moon on July 4th. So my birthday, July 4th, full moon at 9:44 p.m. Pacific time. And it's also a lunar eclipse. It's eclipse season right now. There's a lot of energy in the zodiac of Cancer. And I am Cancer rising, Cancer sun. So there's a lot of energy in my chart. And I am all here for it. So that's what I wanted to share about the masterclass. It's 2 days. It will be recorded. but I want to make sure everybody who signs up can attend live. So I will do a quick poll, but it will likely be in the morning because I know, festivities, if people are, having small gatherings in the midst of, COVID and all that. But I will have it in the morning. That's the aim. And what else is there? That's what I wanted to share. You are so worthy. You matter. You deserve to take up presence in this world. You are here for a reason. You're not here on this planet by accident, really, the reason, there's purpose in you being here. And I remember a TED talk that Mel Robbins talked about. She's like, I think statistically, the fact that you're actually here is crazy, right? It's 1 in a gajillion chances of the sperm reaching the egg and all of that. So the fact that you are here, you're here for a reason, right? And so taking up presence, really owning our power, taking up space, and being unapologetically who we are, and just letting that amplify and celebrating every single part of you, all your flaws, everything that is part of the whole journey. So thank you for tuning in. If this episode resonated with you, please share it. Tag me on Instagram. You can send me a message privately. I love you. Thank you so much. Happy July 1st, Canada Day, if you are Canadian. And if you're in the US, happy Independence Day on July 4th. And happy July all the same if you're listening to this in July. Wishing you all the best. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Join our free private Facebook group community, Sacred Emergence, to receive more connection, guidance, and support, and take part in our 5-day Inner Confidence Challenge to not only boost your confidence, but to help activate your inner leadership. Details in the show notes. Thank you for listening to the Sacred Emergence podcast. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and thank you in advance for sharing this with others who can benefit. Until next time.